This is going to be Leticia Collins, part 8. I believe it's part 8. Now, this will be a pretty short video because there's really not much to update. I did make a few mistakes in my last video, just a few. It looks like I thought she bought Tylenol PM. It was, I guess, ibuprofen PM. And just wanted to put out there, I mean, it's just a little disclaimer. With Tylenol, that is bad for your liver. Ibuprofen is bad for your kidneys. Don't even know if that's like a major thing that people need to know, but just putting that out there. Now, I did listen to the dispatch call, and I have to say, wow. Another thing that was a bit wrong or a bit off that I put out there until I listened to the dispatch call was they did ping her phone, but it still was the viewers. It was the viewers that alerted the police to begin with, okay? Because they did not know what motel she was at. The viewers were trying to say, okay, this looks familiar, that looks familiar. We kind of know where her stomping ground is and what she has said, but they didn't know for sure which motel she was at. Now, from what I am gathering from the dispatch call, they were kind of looking at her video as well, and they were able to, they were kind of looking too, and eventually they were able to ping her phone, because even when they found out the motel, they did not know what room she was in, and they did call the motel, and they could not get the information from, the manager or whatever, if they had a Leticia Collins, because anybody can impersonate a police officer, right? So they had to say, or the manager had to tell the police, you have to come here personally so I can see that you are actually an officer. And then I can give you that information. So they were trying to figure out, on this police call, like I said, it was between the dispatch and the police. It went on for a while. So they were trying to, find out which motel. They were talking about the video that, and I guess what I missed as well, she did purchase a box of razors. I think she talked about that, but the police were talking when they were doing, back and forth with the dispatch. They were talking about how she was showing a box of razor blades as well. So, and I said also in my video that the manager must have been the one knocking on the door, because the police would have just barged in. Well, it sounded like from the dispatch call that the police was knocking on the door. Why they didn't barge in right away, I don't know. I don't know what their protocol is, because the video that she had up, it's down now, where she shows herself taking the medication. It's down. But they're knocking and trying to talk to her for a while. And when they start knocking, and they're, really banging, that's when she takes the medication. Well, she waits for a little while, and they're going on knocking for quite a while. And yes, they ended up breaking the door down, even with her, she barricaded it. But I'm thinking to myself, if they seen this video, and they know what's going on, and someone is threatening to self-harm, and they're pregnant, why didn't they break that door down sooner? I don't know if they knew her history or not, but this is what I'm thinking to myself, that maybe this could have been avoided. Maybe they could have got to her before she swallowed the pills, but then again, she could have swallowed the pills, threw them in her mouth, you know, while they were in the room. Who knows? So those are things that I wanted to correct from my last video, because I did not listen to that dispatch call until after I made my video. And it was a pretty lengthy dispatch call because they were trying to find her. But they did ping her video, or ping her phone. But it still was the viewers. You guys are still the ones that made it happen, okay? Because if you did not call the police, I don't know what she would have done. Some might say, well, it's because of the knock on the door she took the pills. Still, in my opinion, she might have went ahead and took some, and then called 911 and said, I took pills to get out of this court date, because she got out of it. She sure did. The court date was on the 25th. And in my opinion, she's still in the hospital. She accomplished, in my opinion, what she set out to do. And that was not to end her life, because she took quite a few pills, but not enough to unalive herself. Okay? She, like I said, this is not her first rodeo. It isn't. She took just enough to have some in her system, and, you know, quite a bit. She, you know, I see the handful, but she had another handful, and she went and got water. I said that in my last video, but she didn't take those. She put them back in the bottle. She didn't drink any of the cough medicine or the cold medicine, and then she's smoking a joint, all right, when they barged in. So, in my opinion, this was her last option, because they did not keep her past the court date. And she had a good reason not to go to that court date, because she's in the hospital. They're not going to hold that against her for not showing up to court. Right? I mean, if she would have missed court for any other reason, I mean, you can't use the excuse, I was homesick, I couldn't get a ride. She couldn't use, well, I just got out of the hospital. They would have been like, and you had a couple of days, you know, you should have been here. She couldn't have used that. She couldn't have used, well, my brother assaulted me a couple of days ago. She couldn't have used any of the other excuses. Being in the hospital is an excuse. There's nothing you can do about that, especially if you made an attempt on your life and they're holding you there. And she knew that, in my opinion. But what she did do, in my opinion, is take enough to harm this baby, possibly. Now, we know that, you know, babies have been born addicted to, you know, some serious drugs. We know that mothers have been in car wrecks, or, you know, their mothers have taken some stuff, and the babies have came out fine. They're not going to know until this baby is born, unless something happens in utero, right? So, what I did find bizarre is in the ER, I think she said, I don't know if she was in the ER. I guess so. When she was you know, making this video, she was hooked up, you know, just hooked up with, you know, they were monitoring her heart. She wasn't hooked up, you know, They weren't intubating her, or she wasn't intubated, of course, because, she's doing a video. She seems pretty alert for just taking, quite a few PM medications. But she says that, she also said she asked him to pump her stomach. It sounds like to me that they might have gave her some charcoal, because she said that she was puking up blood. Well, could have been black stuff. They use different things now. It just depends. It absolutely just depends on what you take and how many. And I'm sure they counted the bottle and to see how many she took. And they still really don't know because they weren't there. I mean, they could have seen the video. Okay, we don't know. She goes off camera some. What did she do when she went off camera? Don't know. We don't really hear her like throwing up right afterwards. I don't know. To see if she threw up those pills afterwards. Have no idea. But she's pretty aware of everything. Okay, we do not see a baby monitor on her. Now, you don't see her stomach to be able to see a baby monitor, but you don't hear anything, right? And you would think that they would have her hooked up, right, to a baby monitor to be listening after this attempt, that they would be monitoring this baby. I don't know what the protocol is in her hospital. I know what it is in our hospital. And with an attempt like this, they would be monitoring this baby for at least 24 hours after pills were ingested like this. Again, different hospitals, different protocols. And you would be hearing, you can't see anything on her belly, but you would be hearing, the heartbeat of the baby from the baby monitor. I don't know. Maybe they could have turned it down low. But she doesn't say anything like, well, I'm hooked up to a monitor. Here's the heartbeat. Because she shows everything, right? And she doesn't show the monitor at all. Do I still? Yes, I do think she's pregnant. Absolutely. She says that the baby's fine. Now, I was looking at the comments on her last post. She hasn't made a video. I am wondering if they told her. She still has her phone. So I am wondering if they told her, you are not allowed to put any videos up. You can have your phone, and that's a stipulation. If you're caught putting any videos up, your phone is gone. I don't know if they're allowed to do that or not. I have no clue, to be honest. But she still has her phone because she is commenting, making comments under her community post on when she was a child at Halloween, and people were saying, did you hurt your baby? How's your baby? This and that. She is commenting, recent comments. When I say recent, I don't know when this is going to get uploaded, but she made comments, I would say, trying to think here. Monday, late afternoon, late evening, or early evening, she was making comments under there. So she absolutely did not go to court, in my opinion. Okay? And she's still in the hospital, in my opinion. Or she would have posted something about court. So, again, that's just my opinion. Don't know for sure. I do believe she's still in the hospital. And I don't know what their protocol is, but if you're in a psych unit, I know at our hospital, they do not allow you to have a phone. So maybe they are still monitoring her. Don't know. But she has deleted some of the comments. That's pretty clear. But some of the comments, are pretty interesting. Um, you have a lady that, or man, I don't know. They could be anybody, right? They're basically saying to her, from now on, don't tell anybody your information or where you're at or tell them anything. And clearly, this person, I don't think Leticia is catching on. This person is trying to tell her, don't give out your information so that the next time you want to do something bad, you can get away with it. But Leticia is taking it wrong, and she's telling this person, you're deranged. I can tell my truth. I can, do this and do that. What's wrong with you? And the same person is saying also that, you should seek out a late-term abortion on this baby. And Leticia says, well, it's illegal, in the U.S. because I'm too far along. It's too late, it's too late in the game for that. Really? What did you just try to do to this child? It's too late in the game for that. And so this is the same person, and she made a few other comments. Then you have a nice lady that is, she's saying, that she understands what she's going through. And there was another lady later down in the comments that would really like to, adopt a baby. And she hopes that, she might take her up on it, maybe look into it, and she's really talking very nice. I understand you, and I understand that, you might have had a childhood trauma, and this is where this is all coming from. And Leticia is very nasty to her. She makes a comment back, and she says, again, you're deranged. What's wrong with you? You need to seek mental help. That's not an option. I'm not putting this baby up for adoption. She also makes a comment that is, I think, in the same comment. She says she had 4 children taken from her. 4? And she said, by no fault of my own. Leticia says this. She's had 4 children taken away from her. Now, she said that she had 1 abortion. She never claimed that, she never said that that was a rape. She just said that, she had 1 abortion. And then, of course, her daughter was taken away from her. And then this child has not yet been taken away from her. So where is she getting that she's had 4 children? Unless she's talking about her dogs. Is that what she might be talking about? I don't know. She says she has had 4 children taken away from her by no fault of her own. Again, she's not taken any accountability at all. And then someone asked her how the baby is, and she said, well, he seems to be fine. Because somebody says, please don't do anything to hurt yourself or the baby. And she goes, well, he seems to be fine, but I did not hurt my baby. And then she's blaming everybody else again. It's the father of the baby did this. I didn't do it. You people are deranged. You all need to seek mental help. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt my baby. Um, so she's still making, comments, or she's still, got her phone to make comments. So at this point in time, I don't know. I don't know if I'm guessing. In my opinion, she's still in the hospital. And in my opinion, she did this to avoid that court. I don't know yet if they went ahead and rescheduled. That is what I'm guessing. They rescheduled. Because what else can they do? She's in the hospital, right? She has a good reason to not be there. Now, where are they going to go from here? I mean, are they going to keep her there because of the attempt on her life? Some people are saying, well, can they charge her for attempted murder on this baby? I don't know. I know that they have changed, some of the abortion laws. It's not against the law to kill yourself. It's not. It wasn't, against the law. I'm not even sure what it is there in Arkansas. They left it up when they overturned Roe versus Wade. They're leaving it up to each state on how they deal with, abortion now. So I don't know what the laws are in Arkansas. But, most late-term abortions are banned, okay, outlawed. Unless, well, we're not even going to get into that, okay? But, I don't know if they can do anything. Now, some people wanted to bring up the Watts case, the Christopher Watts case with Shanann. That was a little bit different because he ended Shanann's life, which ended Nico's life, the unborn child. All right. And they really had to fight. They wanted that charge. So, little different case scenario because he ended the mother's life, which ended the unborn child's life unwillingly. He took that baby's life as well, because if he wouldn't have done what he done to Shanann, then Nico would have been fine, right? So I'm not sure, because I know here in my state there was a case of someone that killed his girlfriend who was pregnant, and he did not get any type of murder charge for the unborn child because they did not see that as a murder for the unborn child, which, in my opinion, he should have. But, I mean, he got the murder charge on the girlfriend, but nothing on the baby, the unborn child. So, it just depends. But I don't think that they can get her, because she made a comment. Also, she's worried about, it's always me, 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 me. Okay? I don't even think she's worried about this baby at all. She did make a comment, I tried to throw up. I tried to, ask him to pump my stomach. So I was worried about the baby. I didn't want anything, to be wrong with them. Well, you wouldn't have taken those pills. Okay? You knew. You even said, well, he might have brain damage. So in my mind, she already knew at that time she wasn't going to take enough pills to do anything to herself. Right? And the way she was sitting there smoking that joint, she already, like I said it in my last video, she was seeing the chat. She knew that they were calling the police. And she thinks they're, everything's tracked and traced. And she knew they could ping phones, they could ping cell phones. That, the police would be called. Somebody would get there. I don't know, this might have happened to her before. Who knows? And help would be on their way. Or she might have just called 911 herself if they wouldn't have came. Right? If they wouldn't have came. But the knock came. And when she made that comment, well, he's going to be brain damaged from all this. He might get brain damage. I think in her mind then she already knew, she wasn't going to take enough to off herself. Just enough to get out of this court thing. I mean, she doesn't even know if she is going to be put in jail. She might just get probation because it's clear that she's got mental health issues. And they're going to give her an attorney, and they might prove that in her mind, in her way of thinking, that she absolutely thinks that she was sexually assaulted just because this man doesn't want a relationship with her. That's her way of thinking, because she thinks all these people are assaulting her in this way because they don't want a relationship with her, or they've had like her parents have bad relationships with her, so they're assaulting her. And the way that she thinks that everybody looks at her, it's clear with her videos, the way that they look at her. She could pull up to a gas station and someone's looking at her and they're looking to get her in a sexual manner. So she doesn't even know if they're going to throw her in prison for this. She might just get probation. But she's willing to kill this baby or permanently disable this child just because she doesn't want to face court to find out what might happen. She can, I'm sure that if she gets an attorney, it'll be a court-appointed attorney, but they will, try to plead insanity on all this. And she gets disability for it, right? So I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, how long are they going to keep her? Are they finally going to say, all right, she is a danger to this baby. We're going to keep her until this baby's born. Do they have the power to do that? I don't know. Because the baby's still part of her. I mean, he's got separate DNA. He is viable if born outside of the uterus now. But what does it go against her constitutional right to be locked up to protect this unborn child? I don't know. Logically, I would hope so. I would hope so, because clearly she is, in my opinion, she is using this baby to get back at this man that might not even be the father. So, and maybe for even some sympathy. Because if not, she was offered abortion in the early stages of this pregnancy, and she turned it down, knowing she was homeless, knowing that she had no financial backing to take care of this child. You can't take care of a child in a car, not a newborn baby, not properly. I'm sorry, you can't. So what is the end game going to be here? In my opinion, they do need to keep her until this baby is born, so they know this baby is not going to be harmed by her any longer. Because in my opinion, if they don't, then they should be held responsible as well if this baby ends up on the side of the street, in a dumpster, you know, laying in a motel room, starved to death, or worse. They need to be held responsible because they know now what she's capable of. So that's just my opinion. So we're just going to kind of see what happens here. Again, I think she got her way. It was her last out to get away from this court date. And she definitely got it. She got her way. And she didn't have to go. I'm just kind of curious if it got reset. And we'll just see what happens. And then we'll do another video if, you know, hopefully this baby is okay. I hope she gets the proper care that she needs. But we know as of now, Leticia will not accept that proper care. So, and she's saying, even as of yesterday, that she's not allowing it, she's not putting this baby up for adoption. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to be her choice anymore. So, we will just catch you again.